A Ferris wheel stands frozen. Rust bleeds down its yellow frame. The seats hang empty, creaking. No music, no children. Just wind through broken metal. 40 years ago, this wheel was supposed to open on May Day. It never got the chance. This is Pripyat, a city that lived for 16 years. A city that died in 36 hours. I'm Lewis, and today we're walking through time. April 25th, 1986. Pripyat, Soviet Ukraine. The jewel of the nuclear age. This city is only 16 years old. Built in 1970 specifically for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant and their families. Average age of residents? 26. Think about that. 26. This is a city of young people, young families, young children, young dreams. Pripyat isn't just any Soviet city. It's a model city, a city of the future. The people here are the elite. Nuclear engineers, physicists. Their salaries are double the Soviet average. They have access to goods most Soviet citizens can only dream about. Western products on the shelves. Modern apartments with balconies, a swimming pool, a cinema, an amusement park being built for the upcoming May Day celebrations. At the Azure swimming pool, teenagers are practicing dives. The pool is famous across the region. Olympic-sized, beautiful blue tiles. An amusement park being built for the upcoming May Day celebrations. This is what communism promised. And in Pripyat, for a brief moment, it actually delivered. Walk down Lenin Street on this Thursday evening. You'll smell fresh bread from the bakery. Hear pop music drifting from apartment windows. See workers heading home after their shift at Reactor 4. At the Palace of Culture, rehearsals are underway for the May Day concert. Young women in traditional Ukrainian dress practice folk dances. The director keeps stopping them, demanding perfection. In school number 3, children are finishing their homework before dinner. A little girl named Katya draws her family in front of their apartment building. She uses every color in her pencil case. Tomorrow is Friday, then the weekend, then May Day celebrations. The new Ferris wheel will finally open. The bumper cars, the shooting gallery, everything is ready. At Cafe Pripyat, young couples sit over coffee and cake. They talk about their upcoming vacation, about the new car they're saving for, about whether they should have another child. Life is good here, really good. 3 kilometers south, Reactor 4 hums with power. The night shift is starting. Engineers prepare for a safety test, routine stuff. The reactor has 18 hours left to live. 1:23 a.m., April 26th. Reactor 4 explodes. Not one explosion, 2. The first rips through the reactor core. The second blows the 1,000-ton concrete lid off like a bottle cap. A pillar of fire shoots into the night sky. Blue and white, radioactive, beautiful and deadly. In Pripyat, 3 kilometers away, most people are asleep. Some hear a distant thud. Some don't hear anything at all. Morning comes. Saturday morning. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful spring day. But something is wrong. People can see smoke rising from the power plant. Strange. But fires happen, right? Some residents go to the railway bridge for a better view. Later, this bridge will be called the Bridge of Death. The radiation levels there that morning were lethal. But they can't see what's falling on them. Invisible, tasteless, silent, radioactive particles settling on their skin, in their hair, on the playground equipment, on the fresh bread at the bakery. Some people report a metallic taste in their mouths. Their throats feel scratchy. The air smells strange, chemical, sharp, but the authorities say nothing. The radio is silent. No warnings, no instructions. Children play outside. They ride bicycles, play football. Parents let them. Why wouldn't they? It's a beautiful day. At the hospital, nurses start receiving patients with strange symptoms. Nausea, dizziness, burns that look like severe sunburn. firefighters, plant workers. Their skin is red, blistered. One firefighter's skin comes off when the nurse tries to change his bandages. It just slides off like wet paper. In Pripyat, most people still don't know anything seriously wrong. They eat dinner, watch television, put their children to bed. Then, at 2 p.m. on April 27, 36 hours after the explosion, the buses arrive. Hundreds of them. A calm voice from the loudspeakers. Due to the accident at Chernobyl power plant, there is an unfavorable radiation situation. Pripyat will be temporarily evacuated. Prepare only essential items. You will return in 3 days. 3 days. People pack small bags. Why bring much? They'll be back Wednesday. Katya's mother tells her to leave her toys. Katya grabs her favorite doll anyway. A man closes all the windows in his apartment, locks the door. An elderly woman waters her plants before leaving. They took almost nothing. Why would they? They'd be back in 3 days. The buses load up. 50,000 people. Gone in 3 hours. Behind them, the city stands empty. Lights on in apartments. Television still playing. Dinner dishes on tables. A city pause mid-breath. 40 years later, those doors are still open. 40 years pass in an instant. This is Pripyat now. Spring 2026. Exactly 40 years after the explosion. No people live here. But it's not dead. It's something else. Nature doesn't care about radiation. The forest has swallowed Lenin Street. Birch trees grow through apartment balconies. Moss blankets the palace of culture. Buildings emerge from vegetation like ancient temples. Windows gape like dark eyes. But there's life everywhere. Flowers bloom in the cracks of sidewalks. Vines climb the sides of buildings. Trees grow from apartments where families once slept. Walk into an apartment building on Lenin Prospect. 3rd floor. Door hanging off its hinges. The wallpaper is peeling. The floor is covered in debris. But on the table in the kitchen, a teacup. It sits exactly where someone left it. April 27, 1986. Dishes in the sink. A child's drawing on the wall, a house, a family, a son. Everything frozen. Time stopped. In school number 3, classrooms sit silent. Desks overturned. Some still in rows. Textbooks scattered across the floor. A geography textbook open to a page about Soviet achievements. Gas masks scattered everywhere. Hundreds of them, small ones. For children, Soviet civil defense. Every school had them. On a desk near the window, a notebook. Carefully written homework. April 25, 1986. The last day of school anyone attended. The Azure swimming pool stands dry. It's one of the most photographed places in Pripyat now. The pool is cracked. The tiles are broken. Graffiti covers the walls. Light pours through holes in the ceiling, creating columns of dust and beauty. No water, just emptiness and decay. But here's the strange thing. This pool stayed open until 1998, 12 years after the disaster. The plant workers who stayed behind to maintain the reactors swam here. The last heartbeat of Pripyat. Now it's silent. The amusement park. There it is. The Ferris wheel. Bright yellow paint. Now rust. 16 gondolas hanging like empty cradles. It was supposed to open May 1st, 1986, 5 days after the explosion. The bumper cars are still there. Little red and blue cars. Weeds growing around them. The carousel. The horses frozen mid-gallop. Paint peeling. Eyes empty. All waiting for a mayday that never came. But here's what nobody expected. Without humans, nature exploded. Wolves roam Lenin Street in packs. More wolves here than anywhere else in Europe. Wild horses graze in the town square. Przewalski's horses. A species that was extinct in the wild. Scientists reintroduced them here in the 1990s. They thrived. Lynx, bears, wild boar, all living in the exclusion zone. Rare bird species nest in apartment buildings. Owls roost in the palace of culture. They're radioactive, of course, but it doesn't seem to matter. Life finds a way. Radiation didn't kill the land. Humans did. And now that we're gone, life has returned. Nature doesn't mourn the city. It reclaims it. 3 kilometers south, something else rises from the ruins. The new safe confinement. Completed in 2016. A massive steel arch covering the remains of Reactor 4. The largest movable land-based structure ever built. 36,000 tons of steel. It's designed to last 100 years. Inside, beneath all that steel, Reactor 4 still holds 200 tons of radioactive material. The explosion that lasted seconds will take 24,000 years to fully decay. Pripyat lived for 16 years. It's been dead for 40. But the strange thing about ghost cities is this. They're not really dead. They're paused. The lives are still here, frozen, waiting. The homework never finished. The Mayday Parade never held. The Ferris wheel never ridden. Pripyat is a museum of interrupted lives. 40 years. 2 generations have grown up since the day the buses left. For them, Chernobyl is history, a cautionary tale, a Netflix show. But for those who live there, who left everything behind, Pripyat is something else. It's home. Forever frozen in April 1986, some of the evacuees still live in Ukraine. Older now, 60, 70, 80 years old. They remember Pripyat as it was, young, vibrant, full of life. Every year on April 26th, they gather. They remember the ones who didn't make it. Thousands dead, tens of thousands with health problems. We'll never know the exact number. Time moves forward, but some places stay behind. Pripyat will stand here, slowly crumbling, slowly being reclaimed by the forest for centuries. Long after everyone who lived here is gone, the buildings will remain. The Ferris wheel will stand. The swimming pool will sit empty. Monuments to a city that existed for 16 years and will be remembered for thousands. Stand here, in this silence, the wind through broken windows, the creak of rusted metal, the birds in the trees. This is Pripyat now. 40 years after, a ghost city, a nature preserve, a warning, a tomb, all of it at once. I'm Lewis, the Time Walker. If you want to explore more forgotten places and lost moments in history, subscribe and hit the bell. Drop a comment. What era do you want me to walk through next? The past is waiting, because some stories need to be told. Some places need to be remembered, even when they're gone, especially when they're gone. Thanks for walking through time with me. The past is waiting.